Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Fleischer Superman. This is Superman from the old school 40s animation. It's really an old school, classic, traditional looking Superman, and I think he looks great. I pre-ordered this guy from the McFarlane toy store. He arrived today, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Superman. Here he is in the package. We have 4 hands, collector's card, and display stand. One side of the package, Superman, classic animation from the 1940s. Other side, Superman. At the bottom, there's his barcode, if that helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open him up. I did order the bundle for the McFarlane toy store, Fleischer Superman, Tempest, and Dark Flash. Took advantage of the coupon code, the bundle discount, and my Platinum membership discount. There's also a Platinum figure in this wave. It's going to be Nightmaster. It's going to be one of those red Platinums that doesn't have a regular release, and that should be available if you find these in stores, or if you buy a case online. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He comes with a display stand, a collector's card, 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, no traditional accessories. Before I take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Superman from the 1940s animated film series by Fleischer Studios. There were 17 short films featuring Superman in 1941 through 43. Very impressive. Looks like an old school traditional Superman. Very classic. It makes me think of Superman on the radio, all that sort of different stuff. It just looks like an old school strong guy Superman, and I think it looks fantastic. I can picture the animation right now. So, this is done on the Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman body, which is a fantastic body. Head sculpt is great. It's just that old school, strong, square-jawed Superman. He's got the curl. Has that animated look to him, but sort of translated in McFarlane figure form. I think it came out very nicely. Old school Superman logo, red trunks, blue outfit, cloth soft goods cape with a wire on either side for posing. He's got double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. For the most part, the figure looks very nice. I like it. Talk about old school, that's for sure. Any closer look at his face and head sculpt, I like it. I think it looks great. It just screams old school classic animated Superman. It looks just like it should. And then, here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane display stand we've seen countless times before. And here's his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Superman from the old school Filmation. Superman, classic animation. On the back, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now let's check out his hands. He has a total of 4 of them. 2 left hands and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first set of hands. These are his fists. And here's his second pair of hands. These are a pair of open hands, and they're rather on the large side of things. Now let's talk about his cape. It's a cloth soft goods cape. I like the material. It's pretty soft, and it has speddy wires on either side. The cape can stretch out about that far, and you can have it sort of flowing in the wind or something like that. Kind of turn it up, turn it back down. I don't know, have it kind of go into the side like so. Then kind of do something similar with the bottom part. And bam, it's like Superman standing there, and his cape is sort of fluttering in the wind behind him. Could spend a little time, make it look a little better, but quick little version. Now to check out the reuse and differences between this Fleischer Superman and the Crisis on Infinite Earth version. And they utilize the same base body. Obviously the heads are totally different. The torso is the same, the stomach's the same, the sort of trunks are the same, the arms all the way down to the fists are the same. It looks like the legs are the same down to the boots, so They are 100% the same besides the head of the paint job. Cape is pretty much the same. I think it's maybe a little bit longer than this guy. Here are all the different figures that utilize the Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman body. Like I said, it's a nice body for a strong hero like Superman or Shazam. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 7.3, maybe 7.4 inches tall, which can translate to 18.5 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, you can rotate side to side. He can look up a pretty good amount, down about that far. See how that gets him to some flight poses. Pretty nice. See his legs straight back. Between the head and torso, he looks up pretty nicely. Shoulders, a ball joint goes up way more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around. Butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest, increase the range of motion, but more importantly, covering the giant gap that would be there. Bicep cut, double jointed elbow. His wrist can rotate, and it's hinged as well. His torso, he has a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion. You get quite a bit more of the torso and the waist on this guy. Legs complete as splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation, it's pretty good on him. Legs go forward, pretty good amount as well. Back not at all. Double jointed knees. And his ankle. Forward and back. Rotate, tilt rock, and toe articulation. Here's a look at this Superman in a hero pose, just like the animation. Now let's check them out. Next is some of their action figures, starting off with some of their Superman figures. And speaking of old school Golden Age Superman figures, here he is, next to the first appearance Superman, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants. All three of these make pretty nice old school classic Superman figures. And here he is, next to some other animated Superman figures from Superman the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited. Now let's check him out, next to some other Superman figures. Here he is, next to my favorite two McFarlane Superman figures, the Action Comics 1000 Superman and the Hush Superman. And here, next to a couple of Page Puncher Superman figures. Then, next to the Crisis on Infinite Earths and Injustice Superman figures. Next, with a couple of movie Superman figures, Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill. Here he is, next to all the most recent McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman figures that have been released. The Action Comics Superman with the cloth softgoods cape, all three versions of the Christopher Reeve Superman, two Henry Cavill Superman figures from Batman Superman, and then two Justice League Task Force Superman figures. Here's a look at every single McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman figure. There are 52 of them. When I say Superman, I mean a regular Clark Kent as Superman. Not John Kent as Superman, not Val Zod as Superman, not Clark Kent as Superboy Prime or as Batman. Clark Kent Superman figures, 52 of them, and I'm sure there are going to be a ton more coming soon with the new movie dropping. Here's this Superman, next to McFarlane's most classic looking Supergirl. Here's the McFarlane DC Multiverse Fleischer Superman, next to McFarlane's Superpowers version. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the rest of his wave. Tempest, Fleischer Superman, and the Walter West Dark Flash. There's also a Platinum in this wave. That's going to be Nightmaster. He'll be available at retail stores, or if you buy full cases. And they should be popping up, I'd say, any day now at retail stores. Here's Superman, next to most recent Batman movie wave. Both versions of the Batman Begins Batman, Michael Keaton Batman, and Batman Begins Scarecrow. And here he is, next to the Flashpoint Thomas Wayne vs. Reverse Flash 2-pack. Then, next to the most recent Collector's Edition wave, this is Wave 9, both the regular and Platinum versions of Guy Gardner, Captain Cold and Power Girl, and now, with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker and Franklin Murray 2-pack. Here's Superman, next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Icon, and here he is, next to the Target exclusive Gold Label, Orion, and Wildcat. Then, with the most recent wave of Page Punchers, both the regular and Platinum versions of Shazam and Captain Thunder, the comic version of the Christopher Reeve Superman, and both versions of the animated Red Hood. Now, with the King Kong vs. Batman 3-pack. And finally, next most recent Batman comic wave, both regular and platinum versions of the Silver Age Batman and Noel Batman, the platinum Batman vs. Spawn Batman, and all 3 versions of the Neo-Gothic Batman Beyond Batman. Now let's check them out. Next is some action figures from different various companies. That way we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you'll know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller, and I'm going to include as many Superman figures as I can during these comparisons. Since we already checked him out next to all the other McFarlane DC Multiverse Superman figures, here he is next to some more McFarlane toys. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures and some Diamond Select toys, here's Superman next to a computer mouse. And here he is with some DC Direct and NECA Superman figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel Superman figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a fantastic Superman figure. He looks exactly like he should. If you want a figure based off the old 40s animation, they did an excellent job. I sort of associate this animation with some of my childhood early memories of Superman. I was a kid before Superman the Animated Series, although it came out while I was a kid. But I remember seeing old reruns of this and old sort of VHS of this. It definitely sort of helped form my opinion of Superman when I was really, really young. He looks like that typical strong guy sort of look, and it just looks excellent. The only thing I might complain about is those squinty eyes, which is accurate to the way he looked, but as an action figure, I'd kind of prefer maybe some more normal-looking eyes. Beyond that, this guy's damn near perfect. The cape's good, life accessories, it is what it is. What would he come with, like a steel bar to bend, something like that? If I were to rate this guy, I think he deserves an 8.5. It's just a really nice figure, and it really achieved the look from the source material for the most part. I like it. I like it a lot. I like this Crisis on Infinite Earth Superman body. It's all very well done. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to save the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.